around for a while, others quickly fade away, and every once in a while, you find a trend so good, you want it to last. Going green seems to be super trendy these days. I don't know if you've noticed, but everywhere I look, I seem to find things that are supposedly green. And it's all a bit confusing to me because one, I don't even know what green is. And second, why should I even be going green? Luckily, I can't think of a better place to learn about green than at one of the trendiest stores in Hollywood. I mean, when you look up this place on Wikipedia, it says that it's synonymous with hip, so I don't even know if I should be going in there, but we are, because we've been invited to see behind the scenes as Fred Siegel goes green. And you know, this should be really cool. Before I could have my coolness measured inside Fred Siegel, I had to meet up with Blade Penza, one of the founding members of the LA Green Consortium. I had already met Blade 2 days before when visiting his shop to learn all there was to know about concrete, but today was a little different, because instead of talking about a material, we were talking about a concept, and you could say I was more than a bit confused. What is the LA Green Consortium?
The LA Green Consortium is just a group of individuals that have come together to try to help to identify what green is and what designing green is.
That's good, because what is green? I don't even know what it is.
That's a good question. That's typically what people will ask when they hear the word green. In my mind, I'm really not the expert on the subject, but in my mind, it's really just the ability to choose products that have less of an impact on the environment. There's no perfect green product. Nothing is totally green and has no impact on the environment. Everything has some impact. It's making the right, conscious, intelligent choices to choose the products that have less of an impact. That's what green is.
At last! Someone gave me an answer that made sense. In this constant stream of green, 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 it's rare to hear someone say the truth. Going green is simply choosing materials that are less harmful than others. But as Blade said, he's not the expert. Now, who are we going to meet when we go in here?
We're going to meet Deborah with Epoxy Green.
All right.
And she is an industry expert on green.
Between co-owning the store Epoxy Green, which offers green building and design products, being a founder of the LA Green Consortium, acting as a green consultant, and having the last name Green. Yes, her name is Deborah Geyer Green. You could say that Deborah knows what it means to be green, and thankfully, that it's easy to get tired of being green.
I think the unfortunate thing about green becoming such a buzzword is that it's so much of a buzzword that sometimes you forget, or the consumer may get tired of it. That's my fear with it.
Oh no, yes, it's real. It's a reality, yes. A reality I've lived with for quite some time, what you could call eco-fatigue. I was tired of seeing green everywhere. I already took my recycled plastic bags with me when I went shopping, switched out my normal bulbs for more efficient ones, started using recycled paper and less harmful cleaners. I didn't need to keep being told to go green. I had already started. But being in Fred Siegel and hearing Deborah's plans to help Fred Siegel Green go green was helping to renew my excitement about going green. Although not enough to keep me from expressing my frustration. All right, this is gonna sound weird, but I always feel like I'm a little kid who's being told by a parent, oh, go green, and then they say, and I ask why, and they just say, because I said so. And there's never ever a reason for why to go green. So what is that reason? Why should we be going green?
Again, I keep wanting to change it from green to just quality. You know, it's a quality, an aesthetic, and a way of doing life, which just means it's not just the bottom line, it's actually what happens when we're gone and when we're done. What's the impact?
That may sound awfully cerebral or heady, as Deborah puts it, but in reality, the reason to go green is simple. If you want the earth to be healthy, if you want to be healthy, you need to go green. Many of the products we use today, thinking they are safe for us to use, actually hurt the environment, which in turn hurts us, whether it's in the form of dirty air, dirty water, or using up all of our natural resources. So to be healthy, we need to go green. Luckily, it's not as painful as you might think.
Green doesn't have to be more expensive. Green doesn't mean you have to eat granola. And green, no, seriously.
And green doesn't mean you need to wear Birkenstocks either.
And again, it comes down to that whole thing of like, oh, is it Birkenstocks? Do you have to wear Birkenstocks, and do you have to, it's like, no, this is...
Going green is simply using materials and picking up habits that pollute and waste less than others. For example, recycle. Ditch the bottled water habit and drink filtered or tap water instead. Take your own bags to the grocery store. Choose non-toxic cleaning solutions. Before purchasing a product, get to know it.
It's questions asked about, like, you ask where it comes from, how it's made, things like that, as well as looking at what's in it.
Plus, how far does it travel to get to you, which is also known as the product's footprint. Finding the answer to all of those questions will help you to choose the best products and create a healthy home. But don't get stressed over it. Going green is a lifestyle change that takes time to get the hang of.
And every time you make a choice to be conscious, then that's one step towards a solution. And for me, the biggest change since I've gotten my head wrapped around it is I am very conscious of when I'm unconscious. And sometimes I make the unconscious choice, but I'm conscious of it. Like I go, you know what? I'm not quite ready to get all my ducks lined up, but I'm ready to go this far. And, every step is a step.
That's good to know. So it's okay to be a hypocrite sometimes.
Well, I don't know if I'd call it a hypocrite. At least
no,
not
but you know what I
loud.
mean. Yeah. Whatever you call it, being unconscious is okay. Even Fred Siegel green isn't perfect. After all, to build a beautiful green store, you have to tear down quite a bit, which could be considered wasteful and ungreen. Because the most green thing we could do for the environment is to never build and live in fields and forests and not waste it all. But I like having a home, and I'm guessing you do too. So when it comes down to it, going green is all about compromise. It's about doing what's good for the environment as we do for our own bodies. I mean, it's not like I like eating my leafy greens. I actually hate it, but I do it anyway. Luckily, unlike eating leafy greens, going green doesn't taste bad and can actually be fun. That is, once you get past how overexposed it is, and realize that the trend of going green is something worth sticking around. So the takeaway today is there's no such thing as going green. Green is just a state of being or a increased consciousness, choosing things that will have less of an impact over the alternatives. And I know that sounds vague, so if you've decided to go green, here are some things to keep in mind. Before you buy a product, ask who makes it, how do they manufacture it, and how far are they going to ship it. Those things should help you find a true green product and avoid all of those other gimmicks. But do just whatever you can, because every little bit helps. Hey, don't go anywhere just yet. There's a whole lot more where that came from. Visit my website, askthedecorator.com, for tons more videos. And if you don't do that, at least subscribe to my YouTube channel or email alerts, because like I said, there's a whole lot more where that came from.